One of the unique challenges we face as leaders in our industry and as bosses is leading our employees, leading our team members. It can be hard because it requires a different skill set. And there's a lot of little things that put in place. One of those things that put in place is this concept of one-on-one meetings. This will engage your employees like nothing else. Now, a one-on-one meeting conceptually, I want to explain just a little bit, but what this does is it allows communication to be fostered between your team member and you. If you're not proactive in opening up that communication line, it will not happen by itself. And I talk to so many owners who run into a problem with an employee and they say things like, I never saw it coming. I thought they were happy. I never knew that. I'm not a mind reader. How am I supposed to know these things? Well, if you're the boss, you've got to be proactive. That's an excuse, and it's your fault if that happened, because you've got to create the ability for that communication to happen. The employee's not going to do it. Your responsibility as the leader. And one of the ways you can do that is through these one-on-one meetings. So here's a couple components of what that would look like if you're just trying to get that started in your organization. Well, how often do you do it? At least one time per month. Every single month. You've got to make sure that this happens every single month and it's calendared. It's not just a haphazard, well, let's try to get together sometime this month and go out for lunch. No, it's going to be the same time every month or more. For my property managers, and we've got 8 property managers, my my one-on-one meetings with them are one time per week. That means 4 times per month, once a week, every Wednesday, I'm sitting down with every property manager every single time. Now, is that a big time commitment on my part? You bet it is. But it's time well spent investing in my team members, investing in my employees, so that we can keep that strong relationship intact, because they're the most solid asset our company has. Now, logistically, it's going to be 30 to 60 minutes in length. For my more established team members, sometimes it can be more like 15 minutes. But I'm going to calendar 30 to 60 minutes for that meeting, depending on how much information we have to go through. Now, for my weekly meetings, they're about 15 minutes because I'm doing it every week with my property managers. For all my other team members, that is once a month, I schedule 60 minutes on that. But that's about the time frame you want to look at doing. Now, what does it look like as they come into my office? What you think, well, gosh, Mark, that sounds great, but what am I going to say? They come in and how's it going? What do I say? Well, the formation of that meeting is what we refer to as a PE sheet, a performance evaluation sheet. These are part of our system manuals. A PE sheet is basically kind of a short questionnaire that they're going to fill out in advance of this meeting. They do it in advance of every single meeting, every single month. So they fill out a new one every month. And some of it is just going to be questions for them about how they're doing, very straightforward things like, over the past 30 days, have you been underworked, overworked, or has the workload been appropriate? It's an opportunity for them to tell me how they're doing. Then there's going to be some position-specific questions. For example, our leasing person, I'm going to want to know how many leases have been signed, how many properties have been vacant for over 30 days. I'm going to have some very specific questions that way. But this is going to be kind of the foundation of our conversation as it relates to the performance and evaluation that way. It's also going to have a place for them to say how they're doing, what questions they have, what obstacles they're encountering, because it's my way of telling them, how can I help you get better? So they're going to prepare that sheet in advance, bring a copy to me. The first 10 minutes of that meeting, roughly, is their time. So that means I'm going to start off every meeting the same. How's it going? And sometimes they go right into work issues that they're struggling with. Sometimes they tell me about a personal issue. Sometimes they'll tell me about their cat for 10 minutes. I don't like cats. I don't want to hear about a cat for 10 minutes. But I love my team members. So if she wants to tell me about her cat, I'm going to smile and nod and say, I love your cat. And next month, I'm going to ask about how the cat's doing. Not because I care about the cat, because I kind of don't, but I care about them. And this is a way, again, for us to have that relationship, for me to find out what's important to them, what's valuable for them, because I care about them. I want them to be successful. So that's going to be part of that communication. And fifth, you want to calendar the meeting. Do not fall into the trap of just doing it when you think you will have time. Put it on the calendar for the same time, the same day, every single month. Whether that's the second Tuesday of every month or the fourth Thursday at 3 o'clock. Now, does that mean you can't change it? No, of course not. Schedules get changed, I get that, but now you have something to change. So now if you get a conflict in schedule, you can email your team member, talk to them and say, hey, let's change our meeting to whatever date. But it's always going to be as a reoccurring event on your calendar every single month. Now, this is just one thing you need to be doing to be an effective employer, an effective leader and manager of your team members. Leadership isn't as hard as we make it. We need to be doing some proactive things, and this is just one of them. Do these things, and that will help you not only attract the best quality team members, but retain those team members, because retention is huge in this business. That's what you're going after, to retain the rock star A players. And doing one-on-one meetings will help you do that.